Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 cast by Glitch. Today we are going to be looking at some games here by LiquidRet. Absolutely fantastic Zerg player from Wings of Liberty and of course now in Heart of the Swarm. Very famous, well known as being the king of drones. The guy loves his drones. He basically got really good at StarCraft 2 by just trying to figure out ways to turn every single larva into drones. Like, that was his thing, is like he just wanted to find ways to make every single larva spent all the time, and so he designed all of his builds around just getting as many drones as possible. So in the early days of Wings of Liberty, he got really famous for just being able to get out like 80 drones faster than anyone else. He was ridiculously crazy macro man. But he's still a very good player in Heart of the Swarm, despite not having too many big wins recently. So spawning here in the bottom right position from the Team Liquid, playing as the Red Zerg, we have Ret. His opponent today, or his Protoss opponent today, we're going to be looking at a ZVP, ZVZ, and a ZVT today. His opponent spawning in the top left position as the blue Protoss, we have Elfi. And for those of you that don't know, Elfi, very good European Protoss player, very famous, put up some really big wins at the end of Wings of Liberty, started to come onto the scene really strong. So, I've been thinking about my casting lately a lot, guys. And lately it just feels like I've just been doing way too much Zerg-focused-y stuff. And the reason for that is because the time that I was off from casting, I just spent it playing StarCraft, just playing Zerg all the time and learning Zerg and just doing a ton of Zerg. So my Zerg knowledge has gone up by quite a bit. So lately I've been trying to find a lot of replays for PvP, TVT, and some of the other matchups that I don't know so well, just so I can start to learn them a little bit better. But I have had a lot of trouble finding replays, and then this replay pack from LiquidRet came out just the other day. So I thought I would just end up just doing more Zerg stuff. But I am going to try to do a little bit more of a focus on the other side today. So if I kind of neglect Ret just a little bit, I apologize. But Ret is just going to be doing very standard Ret-like things, droning a whole lot most of the time. So let's take a look at this from the Protoss view for once, because I don't feel like I very often get to analyze this from the Protoss perspective. Now, this is an opening that's become very standard in the PvZ matchup. This is to open up with a gateway into the cybernetics core, and then usually the Nexus follows this up pretty quickly. Now, notice he's only got 2 guys on each gas geyser. This is also really important to allow you to get out a faster Nexus, because you want to be able to get this Nexus out pretty quickly. What you're basically doing here, by instead of forge fast expanding, when you forge fast expand, you're getting up a forge and you're getting up cannons so that you can defend against the early kind of pressure from your opponent. And then in the meantime, you're getting up your Nexus and you're going to get up a whole lot of econ and you're delaying your gas. But what this build allows you to do is that this build, you're going to cut a little bit of your econ. Your Nexus isn't going to come down quite as fast. You're getting a Nexus here at about 430, but your cybernetics core is up. Your warp gate research is already on the way, and if you need to be defensive, you can get out a mothership core. Now notice, he did get out a zealot here first. Now where did that zealot go? He did get out a zealot early. I'm trying to spot it. I swear he got out a zealot here. Yeah, there's a zealot on the map somewhere. Yeah, and at this point he used it to go scout out his opponent, kind of poked in there just to see what his opponent's doing, check for a third. But after this, notice he's just making sentries. Only sentries coming out of this one gateway while he's waiting for the cybernetics core to finish, and then using the minerals to do things like building off the rest of his wall, getting up the forge, which you do need to get up eventually. But what this means is that these sentries are going to gather up lots of energy, and if there are any kind of super early attacks, he's going to know about it. One, with this zealot that's going out and moving towards his opponent and checking all the drone counts on his opponent, and then if there is some kind of early pressure, he can cancel the forge, cancel the Nexus, move to the high ground, and then just morph in or use the force fields on the ramp just to hold off things while he gets out his mothership core. Because those mothership cores build super fast. They build in just 30 seconds with a chrono boost. That's, what is that? I'm not going to try to do the math. Not going to try to do the math. Always a bad idea to try to do the math live. Anyway, second gateway now coming down here, and Rhet's just coming in doing very, very normal things for Rhet. He's just starting his third expansion here. He's getting up saturated on 2 bases, and notice he's mining a lot of gas. Oh, no, he's not. He's actually just mining 2 gases. Sorry, he just took the gases at his natural expansion rather than at his main. And I think the reasoning behind that is mostly just so that you don't disrupt mining here at all, because you get your main saturated and then you rally both hatcheries down to the natural expansion, and then as you do that, then you're sending a lot of drones continuously here, so you're disrupting mining down here anyway. So he's throwing up his gas here. Now in the base of Elfi, you see that Elfi's going to be following this up. He did get his mothership core out, and he's mining only minerals. You don't want to take any gas here quite yet. Did he start mining? Yeah, he did start mining on all 3 guys, on both the geysers in the main, but he's going for a starport play here, a Stargate play rather. And looks like Rhet is going to be able to scout this. He's got this this one Overlord moving in right now, and he's going to be able to see this very soon. The sentries are going over to intercept, but yeah, he's going to be able to see that, and he's going to be able to see that that's a Phoenix coming out right there. So he's going to feel pretty safe here. This is pretty much, as a Zerg player, when you see this, this pretty much means you can drone. You can drone, you can get up your 3 bases, you can get up all your gas geysers, be nice and safe, because he's not going to be doing any kind of big gateway attacks yet. And so the reasoning behind getting this Stargate out this kind of early is it kind of allows your opponent to just drone like crazy, but it kind of allows you to sit back and do what you want too. Notice behind this, he's taking his 2 gas geysers, he's getting up a robotics facility, he's getting up more warp gates, he's getting up a forge, and his opponent is pretty much going to be forced to be defensive. He's going to get out here, he's going to try to get some Overlord kills, he's going to pick off queens. What is standard in the matchup is to just get 4. Just 4 Phoenixes, just so that you can get your scouting information off. You can maybe pick off a queen here and there, maybe pick off some drones here and there. As you can see, that's exactly what Elfi's going to be doing here. He's going to pick up some drones here, and all he's doing is losing shields. He's taking some hull damage now. Oh, a little bit sloppy there by Elfi. Does lose a Phoenix there, so yeah, that was a little bit sloppy from Elfi, but it looks like, yeah, he's going up to 4 Phoenixes, and behind this, he's starting his robotics bay, and now he's got his gateways up. He's up to 2, looks like 3 gateways total right now, and he's got his robotics facility out, which is now getting out an observer, and he's getting fully saturated in both of his bases, so he's doing a good job. And these Phoenixes just allow him to get all the scouting information that he needs to be able to do this safely. He wants to know that his opponent is droning on this base, and he wants to know that his opponent isn't doing anything else, cutting too many corners or anything like that. Wants to be sure he knows what kind of tech his opponent's going for. Does see that his opponent's going for the double Evo chamber, so he's getting the +1/+1 upgrades. Interestingly enough, he's going for melee attacks, and you can see the infestation pit going down here. So Rhet's actually opting to be going for Ling Infester here, which is kind of an old school style of playing here. But I don't know, gonna have to see if that's gonna work out here for Rhet. Don't know. I actually have never watched this replay before. I'm just watching these replays cold, so we're going to have to figure out how this is going to go for Rhet. Don't know if he's going to win or not. Looks like 4 sentries. Elfi did get up to 4 sentries here before now going into Colossus. So he's going to start to get into Colossus, and it looks like he's just going to start to expand behind this. Still being really, really active with these Phoenixes. It's really, really important that you don't just leave these Phoenixes sitting out there. You want to constantly be applying some light pressure to your opponent. You want to constantly be scouting for what your opponent is doing. You want to know exactly what kind of tech he's going for, how many drones he's sitting on, how many gases does your opponent have, so that you can kind of accurately figure out what you want to be going for. Now the Spire is going down, so it looks like this is kind of a weird play here by Rhet. We do see that the pathogen glands is coming down, so he is definitely going to be getting the infestors out onto the field, but Spire Tech also coming down, interestingly enough, and both of those things are very, very gas heavy. So Rhet is not going to be able to do both of those really, really easily. So, ooh, nice pick off here by Elfi, picking a couple of guys off gas. They're always really, really annoying to do. And, oh, there's actually a burrowed Ling here from Rhet. That's a nice little move there. So, Elfi just going to be throwing down Photon Cannon and pulling down his Observer to be able to clear that out of the way. Now, we do see the Extended Thermal Lance coming down here. In terms of upgrades, he's kind of skimped on upgrades up till now. He got Ground Weapons level 1. But that's about it. He doesn't have anything else. And notice that everything else for him here is very... Oh, actually, some Lings are actually going to come up here and try to do some damage. Yeah, but with that Colossus, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot. What was I saying before that? I had something really, really important. Ah, yes, he's been neglecting upgrades to be able to get out this tech. Because, in essence, no matter what race you play, then there are 3 different aspects of StarCraft that you have to constantly maintain, right? You have to maintain both. Holy good lord, look at the creep spread from Ret. This is absolutely amazing creep spread here from Ret. But there are basically 3 things you have to manage. You have to manage econ, you have to manage army, and you have to manage tech and upgrades, right? And so you never want to be doing all 3 of those things at any one time. If you're doing all 3 of those things, it's generally considered to be a really, really greedy play. If you're taking bases and trying to build army and trying to tech up to higher tech things, you're going to do none of them well. Your economy is going to suck, you're not going to have a big army, and you're going to have high tech but not money for high tech units. So you don't want to be doing that. It's not a good move to make as any race, really. But good lord, Ret's creep spread is absolutely amazing right now, and I'm amazed that Ret's been able to stay alive this long. He's got this 1 pack of Lings, and that's it. That's it. Other than that, he's been going for straight up tech. He's got Infestors out on the field. He's got Corruptors on the field. If we check the unit counting station, 8 Corruptors, 40 Lings, 9 Infestors, and that's it. 90 drones for Ret here. So he's just going straight up tech, econ. This is what I was saying. He didn't go for any army. He's opting to go for no army and trying to just rely on scouting information alone. And it looks like 1 queen is going to go down there for Ret, and he's going to continue to lose drones. So these Phoenixes continuing to be really, really annoying here. Elfi continuing to be very, very active with them. And now Ret's up to 4 drones, so he's feeling pretty good. And with this much creep spread, he's going to be in a fantastic spot. He knows exactly when his opponent's moving out. What kind of tech does he have to really be able to do anything else? He's just going straight up to Ultralisks. He's got adrenal glands on the way. His hive tech is up. He's going to +3/+3 on his upgrades. This is a crazy style here from LiquidRet. And he's now going to be going up to 5 bases, yeah, to the 3 bases of his opponent here. So this is just a crazy macro style that we're seeing here out of Ret. Elfi kind of going for a similar style though. He's also, notice he doesn't have a whole lot. He's got 4 sentries, a couple of zealots, and he's got a lot of colossi and phoenix on the field. This is all he's really got. He's just been going for crazy econ and tech and not focused on army. But now you can see that he's adding on extra gateways. This is going to bring him up to, let's see, yeah, just a total of 6 gateways. And this is going to allow him to start to beef up his army a little bit because he's got his high-tech units out. He's got sentries with full energy. He's got these colossi. He's starting to get some upgrades. Ground weapons level 2 is currently on the way. And, oh my god, there are a whole lot of gateways going down right here. So now, yeah, both of these players, they've both gone full out, balls to the wall, econ and tech. And so now they're going to be having to get up that army. They've got to get up that army because the fights are going to happen here pretty soon. And Elfi once again continuing to be really, really annoying with these Phoenixes. 17 workers killed with these Phoenixes. That's quite nice there. But Ret is on this really, really interesting army that I don't see a whole lot out of most Zerg players these days, where he's going for Queen, Ultralisk, Ling, Corruptor. This is a crazy mix. Whereas Elfi's going for a little bit more standard of a mix, Colossi and then Gateway units, but he's going for this kind of late tech unit, and of course the Phoenixes that are out on the field. But it looks like Ret's going to look to get aggressive here. He's fully maxed at 200 supply to the 156 supply of Elfi, and it looks like he's spreading out his units. He's going to try to move forward with his Infestors, going to try to get a nice fungal growth down, but nice force fields coming down from Elfi as, oh man, infested Terran Marines going down all over the other sides of these force fields, and the Ultralists just crashing through all of those force fields. And now these Corruptors, not a whole lot of Corruptors on the field, but they're allowed to just do whatever kind of damage they want to do, as they're just trying to pick those off, as Ret is not scared to lose those Corruptors at all. He's just sending them down there to try to pick off as many of these Colossi as he can, but now he's going to be forced to pull back. And look at this creep spread right to the edge of his opponent's base. Now, Elfi is taking a 4th base behind us, but look at this. This creep spread has gone all the way across the map. Ret is just completely safe just because of the sheer amount of creep spread and vision that he's got all over the map. Let's go to Elfi's vision, or Ret's vision right now. Look at this. He sees like 70% of the map right now just because of his creep spread. Let's look at the vision of Elfi. Look at this. He sees this one sad little corner. That's all he sees. And now Ret is continuing to macro up more and more Ultralisk right now. Just going pure Ultralisk, Queen, Infestor right now. Nice fungal growth goes down on all of those Stalkers. And I think Elfi was just not expecting this kind of strange style from LiquidRet. This is not a style that we've seen a whole lot, but it seems to be doing pretty well for Ret here. I mean, assuming he can get up to it. I'm kind of curious to know how this deals with the mid-game pushes, because he basically just survives off Lings and Infestors for quite a long time. And I would feel like that's kind of a little bit scary at quite a quite a few points during a game, but Elfi is continuing to do pretty well. He's surviving on 3 bases. His tech is getting up. He's now producing Void Rays out of these double Stargates that he's got going, and he's got a lot of gateway units, a lot of gateways up, but keep in mind, gateways is not what you want to be going for. Late game, once your opponent's max and your opponent's on these hive tech units, you don't want it to be pumping out crazy amounts of gateway units. You want gateway units just to kind of fill out your army, but you want to be going for high-tech units. You want more Colossi, you want more Void Rays, and in this case, he's getting Immortals. Immortals usually not very good, but oh my goodness, those fungal growths were absolutely amazing from LiquidRet, allowing him to lock down that entire army, and the reason that ends up working so well, he caught him on the ramp, for one thing, at the bottom of the ramp where his Ultralisks could get a nice little concave there, but the reason Infestors are doing so well against this kind of composition is basically because he's got an army that just sits on top of each other, right? He's got gateway units, and the Colossi sit on top of those gateway units, and the Void Rays sit on top of them, so they ball up really, really hard, so that those Infestors can just fungal everything in place, and that was such a good engagement there from LiquidRet, where he just fungaled everything at the bottom of the ramp and had Ultralisks all around dealing that cleave damage, doing a whole lot of AoE damage there, and that allowed him to do quite well. And now Rhett was just going up to, what, 6 bases to the just 3 of his opponent there. So Elfi, I think, just wasn't quite sure what to do. I liked the adding on the Immortals at the end when he recognized that his opponent was just going for that straight-up Ultralisk composition. These Immortals do crazy amounts of damage to Ultralisks, but it was just a little bit, just not enough. Just too little too late, I guess. Too little too late, and Rhett was just allowed to macro way too hard this game. Elfi just didn't have any pressure on his opponent, and Rhett just took full advantage. So fantastically played game there by Rhett. So we're going to jump into some more games here from LiquidRet, so stick around. More games from LiquidRet in just a moment.